Okay, I got my heated blanket to keep me warm in the cold dungeon, and we're continuing off from exactly where we left off. I still have not decided whether or not I want to actually deliberately fall into that hole, by the way, but I think what I'm gonna do is go through the door that's right next to it, and then just decide what to do based on what's through there. Because if through there is like the end of the dungeon, I'll probably just turn around and go fall through the hole. And if through there is like a dead end, obviously I'll just go explore that. And that's my plan, I think. But we'll see. We'll see what's through the door, and then we can make our final decision. Fortunately, we were able to get through these cockatrices without getting a single person turned to stone, which is good. But even if... Oh, wait. Wait, what? Oh, there's a door underneath. That actually just stun-locked my brain. But, I don't even know what I was saying, but I'm glad that we're not stone. Oh yeah, I was saying it wouldn't be that big of a deal either way, because we do still have that spell that makes you not stone, which obviously we did not have before, and I still don't think we've used it a single time. And hopefully let's keep that way, because I'm pretty sure that the other spell that costs the same level of mana is... Oh wow, it's super lucky that he missed. But I'm pretty sure the other skill that costs the same amount of mana is better. I guess we could check now, just because why not? Collected 50% of the chests in the game. Nice, nice. Got another achievement, obviously. Stona and Protera. Okay, yeah. Protera is quite good. So we do want to be careful with that, for sure. And I'm realizing that I was confused. I think I... Oh, I see. The hole is inside this building to the right. I was like, where did it go? But no, I get it now. Let's go up the stairs. Oh. What? It just exited the dungeon. No, don't tell me we're gonna have to go all the way through again. No. Oh my god. We're gonna have to go all the way through the whole dungeon again. I cannot believe that it just did us like that. But you know, on the bright side, we've already opened a lot of the chests, so there won't be as many monsters to fight this time. But oh man, I feel so scammed. That is rough. Okay, well, on the bright side, at least now we know where that staircase goes, which I guess is good. We can't use Healara anymore because we're already out, so I guess we'll just use regular heal twice. You know, while we're here, might as well just heal up, right? There's no reason to not just heal. We've got the item, which is the cottage. And so we can just max out our mana. Oh, it looks like a Dragon Ball. Like from the first season of Dragon Ball when they had the... Or the first, like, original Dragon Ball or whatever, and they had the capsules that had the little house in it. Okay, but yeah. Everyone's MP looks to be maxed out. Everyone's got max HP. We should be able to just beeline it now, which is good. But wow, that's crazy. I cannot believe that just took us straight out of there. That's messed up. But now we know, for future reference, don't go in there, don't go in there. Or rather, don't go up there. Wow, that's crazy. That's actually bonkers, but that's fine. I guess I will... I mean, yeah, I guess I have to just beeline it in there. And so I am curious, does that mean that you're supposed to go through the hole that I fell through, leave the dungeon, loop all the way back around, and then end up back in that room and try and avoid the hole to get what I presume to be the float stone? Or does that float stone, like, is it impossible to get that? Alleged float stone, I should say. Is it impossible to get that, and then in order to get to it, you need to go into that room and fall into that other hole? I'm really not sure. Either way, there's no harm in trying to get the float stone, alleged float stone, while I go there again. Because worst case scenario, I just pick up some kind of rare item or interact with something, I don't know, weird, I guess. So we should be fine no matter what happens. And then we won't have to go all the way back through. So I guess it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because we were going to have to go back there at some point anyways. And if it is the float stone, then we'll be able to go to the Northern Lands and continue our journey. Because right now, pretty much this is the end of everything. Like, I have no idea what to do after this. Which will be fine if we can just fly away. 2 dragons is tough, but I think we can one-shot them with 2 people fighting them. I hope. 74 is quite a big chunk of damage, and Block was actually able to one-shot it just by himself, so yeah. We really don't have to worry about the dragon's HP. It's purely just their strong type of problem. Now, I don't see any gap in the holes. So I wonder if in order to do it, you're supposed to walk diagonally between the holes? Actually, no, there's not even a diagonal gap. Flame sword. That's awesome. I definitely want to equip that to somebody. You've got the mithril axe. I could give you the flame sword, or I could give it to her. It actually seems to be a downgrade for her, which is kind of surprising, but not really, because he's already got the ice sword. So I guess that's fine, and I'll give him the flame sword. I'm going to assume that that'll do extra damage to these ice enemies as well, which is really convenient, because we're fighting all kinds of ice enemies. We've got these 2 super strong guys again too, but I think with one of each of them hitting them, we should be fine. I was wrong. They're quite tanky, and they use Thundaga. But I think we should be fine. We should be able to kill him in 2 hits, yes. Okay, and then we need to heal Yella. Fortunately, because we used the cottage, we do have our cures back, so it's not a problem. We can heal him easily, and we can heal Risa while we're at it. Use the rest on Block, and then leave it at that. It's actually crazy how much, like, mana of the level 1 that we can just burn through immediately, but, like, it's fine. I'm gonna use Fire Rock on these guys, actually, because I just hate fighting them. And I'm gonna use, I don't know, I want to use Confuse, because it's so good, but I also feel like it's a little bit wasteful, because we can use Haste. But I suppose as long as we have 2 hastes for Block and Risa, because I was told that it only works from physical attackers, but as long as we have 2, we should be fine in case we ever encounter some kind of boss or anything. We can use it on that, which would be nice. We need to just pray that we kill these guys fast enough that they don't use any more Thundaga, because the Thundaga is a huge problem for us. And we did get 1 confused, which is very good. That means we can lead our 2 strongest hitters on the ones that are not confused, and then let the other 2 bonk the guy that's just confused and doesn't know what he's doing, and hopefully he'll hit himself, which he does, which is awesome, and they might be able to kill him. They were able to, just barely. They were within 3 damage of not killing him, which is insane. Also, we got clothes? I feel like that's, like, why are we getting that at this point in the game? I'm sure it's weaker. Actually, yeah, okay, yeah, it is weaker. I was like, I don't know why we're getting that now. But either way, it doesn't matter. It really looks like I can't go in here, but I guess I'll try and go here? Yeah, I kind of figured I wouldn't be able to get in there. But then how am I supposed to get to that? I'm gonna ignore this guy. Oh, I have to fight him. That is unfortunate. I'm quite surprised that these guys respawn, actually. I really did not think that they would respawn. Oh, when I used all my Dias, because I'm a dummy. That's okay, that's okay. I can still just attack like a weaker enemy or something. And then I can use him to use Scourge, and hopefully that just kills like half of them. We'll just have to keep our fingers crossed. But, I don't know. They did do quite a bit of damage to Grok. Oh, and Yellow, that's unlucky. And even more to Grok. Oh my god, that's so unlucky. But either way, it's pretty fine because when they do hit block, which is most of the time obviously, they really don't do that much damage. Block is down to half health, but overall he's been tanking a lot for us, and I'm going to go ahead and use Hilara because everyone's quite low. I'm only going to use it once because I think that's all we need, but if Yella gets hit again, I'll just use it again. Because Yella is the one that needs it the most for sure. And now we don't have to worry about any of these doors or anything, we can just beeline it to the end, which is really convenient. And saves us a lot of trouble. Which obviously, you know, there are some benefits to going through a dungeon for the second time. But for the most part, it's quite unfortunate that not only did we get kicked out through the top, but even after we got kicked out through the top, it turns out that we can't even get the stone that was floating there. So it's kind of pointless to go through there, but it is what it is, and we know what the staircase is now. We know we need to go into that hole. I'm also curious, oh gosh, there's a lot. I'm gonna just defend with everyone and use fire magic because we've got quite a lot again. But I am curious about what those holes looked like in the original game. Because if they were really hard to tell what they were in the original game, it would be quite unfortunate for the players, because there would just be no way to see that one hidden on the minimap. And if you don't just accidentally fall into it, you'd think that the dungeon just ends right there. And you know, I suppose it's possible it does end. We did get an ice shield, by the way, which is awesome. I think I'll equip that for now, because obviously we're fighting ice enemies, so we need ice resistance. But yeah, I'm assuming the dungeon continues after you go through that hole, because why else would there be a hole there? I mean, I feel like it makes sense that it would have another floor, but I guess it's possible that if we go through there, it just kind of kicks us out. But that seems pretty unlikely to me. Either way, we're going to be able to check now. We just need to fight some enemies in what I'm assuming is going to be some enemies in chests, but we'll find out. And then I'm assuming that it's going to take us to the water crystal? Ice crystal? I'm going to use Hilara again. I might use it twice. No, I'll only use it once. But then I'll use the regular heal, because we do still need some healing. Even outside of Yella, who's the lowest. But that's just because they have the lowest amount of HP. Everyone else is the one that needs the healing right now. Quite unfortunate. 10,000 gold, let's go. After we open up these chests, I also want to quickly check how much money we have. Because I have a tendency to never check my money and XP and HP. Which, you know, obviously I'm training myself to check my HP more often because Yella keeps dying, which is obviously bad. But the money, I have not been checking, like, at all. We did get another ice shield. So there's a guaranteed ice shield if you just open all the chests, which is neat. Now we can sell that one, but we've got 329,000 gil. That's insane. And we can go through the hole. Hopefully it takes us somewhere. Oh, it takes us into the crystal. And we have to fight an evil eye. Okay. I don't know what this guy's going to be weak to, so I'm just going to use regular attacks for now. But obviously, I want to use Thundaga. Then again, I could try Death. But I have a sneaking suspicion that it's not going to work. And this is a dungeon boss. So actually, instead, I'm going to use Haste. And I'll probably do that on Block and Risa. Never mind. That was a very easy boss. Risa is 3 XP from leveling up, which is honestly tragic, but it's fine. But yeah, I mean, I guess we eviscerated him. We got our Levistone! Well, I was calling it a float stone. I think that's an item in Pokemon. Which I use in, I used to use in Pokemon TCG Live, right? Let me see real quick. No, I used to use it in Pokemon TCG Online. Wow, it's been so long that I'm forgetting the name of it. That's actually quite depressing. But I used to use a Flowstone in Pokemon TCG Online. And then they transferred us to Pokemon TCG Live. They forced the switch over. And, it just sucks. I know that there's probably a million people that also hate it, but if you don't know anything about Pokemon, like TCG, and playing it online, oh, I used the wrong thing. I was supposed to use Scourge, but whatever. But anyways, if you don't know anything about the online TCG aspect of Pokemon, they had this awesome game called Pokemon TCG Online, and it's basically you play the game, except it's online. That's literally it. You can do anything you want in the game. You can use whatever cards you want. You get to open packs for free. You just gotta play the game. It's just awesome. It was a great game. And then they tried to modernize it and make it more like cartoony and kid-friendly. Like, I don't know what other game to compare it to, but basically they just made it look worse in every way, which, you know, I mean, in some ways it looked better. Because they did, you know, redo all the art. Like, for instance, this game, they redid all the art. And it looks, in my opinion, better than the original. And it's got a lot of quality of life stuff in it. And so it's like, you know, if you know what you're doing, you could really make a great update to a game, you know? But they didn't. Because what they decided to do was, whereas in the old game, you had, like, a few different, you know, game modes. The typical ones being standard, which is, you know, the real life, like, tournament based kind of meta, if you will, where you use the new cards that rotate in and your old decks kind of get filtered out and, like, banned as you play. Like, you know, a new set comes out and these 3 cards in it end up being really, really good, and people use it and use it and use it, and then after like 6 months or a year or something, it gets filtered out because it's in too many decks, and then you have to like switch to new cards and stuff. Now me, as a human being, I don't want to waste 800 paychecks on, you know, cards online, like in a video game, because it's just dumb. And so what I play is Expanded, and what Expanded is basically like Standard, except you can play with any card, which basically means you get to make your favorite deck, you get to use your favorite cards, and then you just play, and you don't have to worry about any of your cards being removed or anything. You just get to play the game and have fun. And that's what most like hardcore players do. Like, I just play it for fun. I like it. That's all there is to it, right? And that's great. But then they also had like tournament mode, where, I mean, obviously it's, you know, you can probably pick it up from the name alone. There you get like tickets or whatever from playing the game, and then you can use them join a tournament and get prizes and get like decorations or Pokemon card packs to open or whatever, and it was a lot of fun. But in the new version, they decided that they wanted to change everything. So now, instead of getting Expanded and having regular, they introduced ranked mode, which, I mean, I don't like the prospect of ranked mode in general in a for fun Pokemon card game. But you know, you don't have to play in ranked, which is fine. And honestly, I like playing in ranked. I like ranked games. It's not necessarily bad to have ranked in the Pokemon trading card game. You know, it's not a bad idea. But you can only play ranked if you're using a standard deck, which means you can't use your fun deck anymore. And because of that, they decided to do away with... They pretty much did away with Expanded altogether, where they still have it, except half of the cards, half of the expanded cards, just aren't in the game. Which is... I mean, it's a baffling decision. Why they would just remove half the cards from the game. I still cannot figure out why they would do that. It just makes no sense to me. But that's what they did. So you can play Expanded, but you're not allowed to play it in Ranked. And you're not allowed to use all the cards you used to use, because they just don't exist. Which, you know, that in and of itself sucks. But at the end of the day, you can still go back and play online. So, like, it really doesn't matter. Except, wrong, you can't do that, actually, because for some ungodly reason, they decided they were going to end the service of online altogether. So now you can only play live. It's a half-baked game with pretty much half the cards. And you can't play with the decks that you used. You can transfer your old cards from your old account onto the new account, except for the fact that obviously most of them don't come because cards don't exist, and it doesn't save your decks. Which means if you had like 8 decks or more, like me, all of a sudden all of your decks are just gone. And you have to memorize them because your old account, the old game, it's gone. It's been deleted. All of your stats in your inventory, all of your, you know, things that you've unlocked, everything is just gone. Which, you know, interesting choice. Interesting choice of them to get rid of everything. And it's just a worse game. The only positive it has, I will say, obviously it has ranked, which I guess is good. But the only other positive is that it is significantly easier to get cards. So they added, the old game had like a pseudo kind of battle pass thing where if you play enough, you get like energy when you win, and it goes up a battle pass or whatever, and then, you know, you get packs and you get cards and whatever. That's basically just how it was. But in the new one, they fully embraced the monetization of Pokemon. So now there's 2 tiers on it. The top tier, which is free and gives you like nothing, but it gives you some points in order to buy cards, because now you could just craft the cards. You don't need to open packs to get the cards. You can just craft them, which is the only benefit of that game. But now there's the bottom tier, which gives you like 4 times as much stuff. And it just sucks that you have to buy that. And I think they've got multiple battle passes as well in there, but I'm not sure. So don't quote me on that. But anyways, basically, I'm salty about it. And this change was made like a long time ago. This change was like 2 or 3 years ago that they got rid of that. But just let it be known that I'm still salty about it. And now I'm done with my long-winded Pokemon TCG Live Online rant. But back to the actual game. I'm heading to the Dwarven Nation, obviously, because that's where the guy said that he could make me the floaty boat. This episode has a lot of backtracking in it, unfortunately, but that's fine, because it's gonna have to be done eventually. And the last episode had a lot of new stuff. We finally got the crystal, obviously, which is super hype, and we discovered the ice dungeon. And I haven't brought this up yet, but we uncovered the entire dungeon and we didn't get the third crystal. So we were right in assuming that the third and fourth crystals are going to be in the northern continent, which is pretty cool. There's probably going to be some final boss area too. I assume we're going to need to light up all 4 crystals and then fight a final boss. But there is a chance that the final crystal is just defended by like some sort of final boss guy. But I'm really not sure. I'm just assuming. But there's only one way to find out. So we gotta make the floaty boaty and then head on over there because that's gonna be awesome. I'm super excited to see the northern continent. This is a long trip. I do not remember this being that long. But I'm going to actually just stop here for now. And I will see you again in the Dwarven Nation so you don't have to watch me running through and doing a marathon, basically. Not the right guy. So maybe it's another dwarf? No. Okay, it's possible that I remembered the wrong location and I was actually supposed to go somewhere to the southwest. Or perhaps it's just down here. It's possible that in the southwest there was the mage guy, and so maybe he was the one, or maybe it's this guy. Okay, there's nobody in here. Okay, let me make double sure. Okay, yeah, there's definitely nobody in here. I guess I will travel again, and I will see you at the mage. Alright, surely this is right. We're in the Sage's Cave now. Let's see if this is actually where we were supposed to go. Restore the crystals to Grace. Oh my god. This was not where we were supposed to go. Well, where in the world am I supposed to go? Okay, I'm gonna look it up because I'm stuck and I'll be back. Alright. 3rd time's the charm. Surely we're in the right place this time. Apparently I wasted just a huge amount of time, but it's fine. Apparently we're supposed to take it to this desert, which I remember there being something here, but I completely forgot about it. Apparently this is where I learned that we could use the float stone, or whatever it's called, to do stuff. So here we go. I feel like it's gonna be like a dune worm. Oh snap! Alright, we got an airship. How my party knew to come here, how Risa knew to lead us here, I have literally no idea. But I will take it. This is kind of crazy. I guess we just abandon our ship forever. And I don't know if there's going to be enemies around anymore in the sky. But that's pretty awesome. And it plays a banger-ass song, I must say. That song went super hard. Let's take a nap. And then we can head up to the northern continent and just see what's up there. This is crazy. I'm so excited. I do want to, even though we can fly, I do want to start from the southern tip and work my way up. Because I fear that if I just go straight to the end, I'm going to end up dying in a gruesome and horrible death. So we're just going to go to the south. I'm actually surprised that there's no enemies attacking us. We just get some awesome music, the world goes a little bit sideways, and then we just get the vibe. Which is super surprised. What? The world is round? I mean, I know I should have known this. It only makes sense, but I am blown away by the fact that the Earth is actually round in this game. I thought for sure that I would just hit an invisible barrier on the edge. And I'm willing to bet that in the original game, you do just hit a barrier. But that's great. This makes the game so much faster. I feel like I'm gonna be so fast now. Oh, but I can't land in trees. Oh, I see how it goes. Can I land here? Probably not. Interesting, so you need to find a good landing spot before you can land. Can I land right here? Nope, that counts as the wall. Okay, what about right here? Nope, that counts as trees. I guess we'll land over here? And you can't land in the mud. Okay. This is mud still. Damn, there's nowhere for us to land. It's all trees. Maybe this spot right here? I doubt it though. No, that's nothing. Okay, here we can land. This is where you're supposed to land to get all the way over there. Maybe I should just scout out the map for now. I mean, we've got some land that we can land at here. And just look at this town off in the boonies, but this is awesome. I love this tree. We're in Gaia. This is Gaia. Outsiders often call our town the Eye of the Hawk. To our south is an ancient city known as the Wing of the Hawk. That's probably the place we couldn't get to because of all the trees. Oh, I thought he was going to say more. I thought he was going to give me a whole map. That's fine. We got this guy. Have you visited the Wing of the Hawk? I can't understand a word they say there. Okay, so it's going to be like the dwarves, I guess. I'm nervous to go down here. Okay, yeah, I kind of figured that it would just kick me out of the town. But that's fine. Now we know. Now we know. But yeah, this is awesome. I'm super excited. We got another dancer. I don't believe it. You're outsiders, aren't you? How did you make it up this high in the mountains? Can you fly or something? Nah, that's impossible, right? Wrong. Okay, so she does seem to be a different person, so she won't give us advice like the other one. My dad was always telling me how the castle to the west was a place to test your courage. Okay. A fairy was living at our spring, but I haven't seen her lately. Wonder what's happened to her. There's a lot of new things to interact with, which is pretty cool. I'm honestly kind of glad that I had to go on that long-winded journey to find where to use the floatstone, because now we have no reason to ever use the boat again. We can just fly anywhere we want, which is awesome. I saw a shining light fly off to the west in the night sky. I know I saw it. Okay. That maybe is a crystal? I mean, probably not, but who knows? Who knows? There was a scholar studying the Lufenian language, but I can't seem to recall his name. Okay. Interesting. A lot of this is going over my head. I assume this is the church? It is. And I feel like I'm gonna have to fight this guy. He looks like a pirate. I caught the fairy, so I figure she's mine to do with as I please. What's the big deal? So I sold her to the caravan. So what? Okay, so there must be some sort of merchant guild or caravan group or something somewhere. And there people I'm probably gonna have to fight and, like, rescue a fairy, I guess? I don't even know what a fairy is. Oh, I thought I was gonna be able to use my canoe on the water, but apparently not. And that's going to take us out of town, so I don't want to go there. This area, off to the northeast quadrant of this little town, seems to just be purely, like, cosmetic. And I honestly vibe with that, because that lake was super cute. Now, I do want to restock, but I'm going to save that until after I check my armor, after I check my weapons, and then after I see how expensive spells are. But oh, they're connected. That's awesome. Cat claws. Nobody can use this. So it's completely useless. It costs $52,000, which is astronomical. And I'm glad that I have so much money because I fear that the spells here are going to be like 100,000 a piece. But hopefully not. And as for armor, what do we got? Oh, a ruby armlet. Oh my god, that is so good. I'm gonna buy 4 protect rings, because I've never gotten a ring before. And I'm gonna buy 3 ruby armlets, because apparently it's better than everything we've gotten so far. So let's equip all of that. What is the ring? Is that a shield? I don't know. Ruby... Oh. Wait, what? Wait, I'm so confused. Oh, it's a glove. Okay, I see. And everyone can wear it, which is absolutely huge, so now we don't have to worry about, We don't have to worry about Block being significantly tankier than everyone else, and everyone gets a ruby amulet, which is surprisingly better than the chainmail. The mithril mail. I thought for sure the mithril mail would be better, but it seems not, which I'm totally fine with. And his ice armor is obviously still better because it's ice armor. Now, when we sell things, we do need to be careful not to sell the flame mail, because it's the same as the ice armor, and I don't want to accidentally get rid of that. We can get rid of all the leather gloves, and the silver armlets, and the mithril mail, astoundingly. Mithril gloves too, surprisingly. Mithril axe is useless now. Flame shield we keep, ice brand we keep, flame mail we keep. I was just talking about that. Clothes we can sell. Ice shield we can sell one of, because we can only use one. Oh, and we're equipping the other one anyways, okay. Where's the flame shield? Oh, there it is, okay. Perfect. Now we have significantly more defense, which is awesome. We're going to be doing way better. And there's actually 2 shops here, so we are going to have to spend a lot of money probably. We're going to have to be... Actually, before we go in here, we've got the witch. Is this the same girl I gave the crystal eye to? That broom's always trying to weasel its way out of its chores. I don't know what to do with it. Okay, so this is just some random other witch. That's pretty cool. There's a tower in the Yanakurm Desert that no one can enter. Some people think it's nothing but a mirage, so it's called the Mirage Tower. No one can say for sure though. Okay, so now there's something to go do in that big desert, probably. That's off to the west, I think. From where we are, maybe southwest? Let's see what we got. We got Blizzaga. Deals ice damage to all enemies. And we got Break. Petrifies one enemy. But nobody can use that. I really want to buy Blizzaga. Blizzaga sounds quite good. I'm surprised that Risa can't use it. Because so far she's been using a lot of fire and ice spells. But that's fine. Kiraja. Fully restores one ally's HP and cures some status effects. This I heard about, and it sounds really good. Deals damage to all undead enemies. I'm gonna buy Kiraja. Wait. Oh no. Grok can't use Kiraja. Damn, that is really unfortunate. Who can use that then? Huh. You know, I wonder if it's possible that I'm just not high enough level? No, I'm high enough level. I've got mana in level 7. I've got 6 mana. That's quite a lot. Huh. Maybe I don't have a strong enough staff or something? They say a special water called Oxyel gushes from the bottom of the spring, but only fairies can draw it out. Okay, so I'm supposed to get a fairy and then go over to that spring. I see. Damn, I cannot believe I can't use that spell. Holy. Damage all enemies with holy light. Nobody can use it apparently. Reduces damage from spells by half. That would be useful, but nobody can use it. And Dispel negates one enemy's magical defenses. How is it that nobody can use these light spells? I mean, obviously it must be one of the other 2 characters that I didn't pick, but damn, that's crazy. I didn't think those guys were spell users. They can't use these either. Stops time and paralyzes all enemies, banishes enemies to another dimension, instantly kills one enemy. That seems like the same as the other spell, doesn't it? Let's see. Magic, yellow. Death. Instantly kills one enemy. Yeah, it's the same spell, but it's a higher level, so obviously it probably works, you know, better. Huh. That's so weird. I wonder if it's because they're using the Mithril Hammer and the Power Staff. Maybe they need better weapons? I really do not know why they can't use these spells, but if you do know, let me know why they can't use the spells in the comments. Because I honestly have no earthly idea why they can't. I feel he can use Blizzaga, so it's not like he can't use level 7 spells. It feels like he should be able to use those other spells. But I guess he can't. Damn, that sucks. But it is what it is. hopefully we can find a way to use them. But for now, we're just going to take a nap and end the episode here. There's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of places to explore, and I'm really excited. I'm probably going to go bottom right next, but we'll save that for next time, and I'll see you then. Bye bye!